Alrighty, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Spellbringers match. This is another best of 3 series from the recent King of the Hill tournament. Spawning in as our death, we have Nagalord, and his opponent will be Deolran, once again as the nature. So Deolran always likes playing nature. Likewise, Nagalord only really plays death. So we have two players who are pretty firmly attached to their factions. And we are on Golden Valley. So there's actually a new version of this map that has been updated a little bit. There's a ramp here coming onto the low ground, but this is a few weeks old, these replays. Conservatory first for Deolran, followed up by the Hall of Warriors. Pretty standard. As for Naga, he's going for standard play as well. Graveyard first. He's got 4 Blight Factories. And the Black Obelisk, yeah. So that's a build that I like. Kills the critter for whatever reason. Poor little Froggo. Nagalord is a much newer player than Dio, but he's been playing a lot more. So he's actually, I think, our best death player that we have in the community.
I'm on the job.
Your building is complete.
He usually goes for a crypt playstyle. Yeah, going for the expand now. I think if you're going to go mana as death, you would want to get that before you expand. You really want to get those vampires out ASAP. Dio, what does he go for with his next sapling? Does he go for the Hall of Scholars? Yeah, the Hall of Scholars. Getting the phalanx out early is good if you think there's vampires coming. But it will just be the scouting looter. That one's going to go across the map and see what's up. Nagalord hasn't built a crypt yet, so I think he's going to go Spellbringer first. Yep, then go for crypt. He doesn't have any units, so he's gonna have to warp in some vampires. Now that he some zombies. Now that he has a crypt, I think now he'll rally forth. He'll deploy some zombies, but it may be a little late. The looter could go get some worker kills. Yeah, he avoids the necromancer, and there's no units defending this. He goes for these lost souls. These ones are slightly defended by the necromancer. Oh, and it gets the haunt. Yeah, so taking a fair bit of damage from the necromancer, whereas these lost souls are completely undefended. Nagalord now building some zombies, but they're much slower than the looter. So the looter could probably get a couple of kills here. Good haunt micro from Nagalord. So the haunt puts the lost soul on top of the looter. That makes it it's invisible and gives vision on the unit. So he's got 1 lost soul killer. There's so many wounded lost souls. There are some zombies defending. Oh, he gets only 1 kill in the end. Yeah. Very good micro from Nagalord. Really using that haunt, toggling between different lost souls. Having 4 lost souls 1 shot away from dying. Could have gone much, much worse. Yeah, so I think that the play there with that looter is just go straight to this gold mine, ignore the necromancer. Okay, Deolran sending out his sapling. Now, as we always see, Deolran's saplings time out and die before he gets the expansion. So let's see if he actually gets it this time. There we go, he gets the hold on the first sapling. Very good, very fast expansion. Perhaps leaves him a little vulnerable to being attacked.
I'm on the job. I'm on the job.
Nagalord doesn't have a lot of units. Building phalanx, getting a Hall of Elites for his research. Yeah, this early expand is going to really pay off. Now, the thing is with the lost souls is they don't regenerate their health. So a drop in the future from Jolren could be very punishing. If he pops a couple of looters in a Ravenlord, drops it off on this gold mine, he'd kill those very quickly. Okay, scouting Lost Soul. It is going to find this third base. Now, what I like about this map, Golden Valley, is there's a lot of different expand locations. Your third base can be here in the corner, it can be here in the middle, or it can also be here as well. And so, scouting your opponent's third base can be much more difficult than other maps where there's only really one third base location. Nagalord floating up a lot of resources. That could be 20 zombies. So not having the army to punish this third base due to his floating of resources, but also not having his own third base too. So he needs to do something.
I gladly obey.
He's getting some more research. So his army's pretty good in direct fight against the archers and the phalanx.
Your building is complete.
But these elven units are much more mobile. Okay, Lost Soul. Oh, gets killed by the phalanx. Yeah, Jolren's looking in a better spot just in terms of his economy and also getting his double Hall of Scholars, getting his research, getting his more production structures. He's setting himself up quite well for a macro game. Dark Nexus unlocked. That allows the crypt units to recall back to base. It's also a requirement for the Undying upgrade, which is a very, very powerful upgrade. Allows the zombies to respawn at half health after being killed. I think Jolren's gonna need more tree herds. There's a lot of lumber between the altar upgrades, the Hall of Scholars upgrades, the Hall of Elites upgrades, and enchantresses. It does burn through. Yeah, going a fifth tree herd. I really like this from Jolren. Very good macro. And there's the third base. So significantly later is this third. Nagalord now really burning through his resources, having 4 necromancers. So we have ourselves a very slow macro game. Maybe we'll see Jolren go for a 4th base. Oh wow, look at all these ply factories.
Your building is complete.
It is easy for undead to all of a sudden invest heavily in lumber. So they're a bit more flexible in terms of their economy, but they can be quite difficult to produce units with those necromancers. Okay, this army is scouted by that owl, that Spellbringing ability. The archer may also spot it too. So Jolren should know that there's an army on the way. His food is slightly ahead. But right now the army here is looking pretty small. Get some scouting. This may delay this army from attacking his third base. Oh, he's looking for the 4th. These I suspect will time out just given how much action is happening on the map. Oh no, he actually uses them before they time out. No, there it is. There's the 3rd base. Okay, 4th base. Okay, we have the phalanx, but they're going to be retreating from the zombies. They did get hit by a corpse explosion. Jolren needs to wait until his army's a little more consolidated, a little more reinforced. Maybe fight around this tower. Fighting up the high ground might be a bad idea. Shepherds mixed in there as well as the immolators for the splash damage. Sniping down the shepherds with the archers and the phalanx. Nice work having a control group to take out these spellcasters. Phalanx on their own, trading pretty well against the zombies. Oh, we do see the Death Knight. That's the Spellbringing ability. It transforms the unit into the spellcaster. It's only temporary, but it has a very powerful AoE attack. So Jolren lost his army, but he took out all of the spellcasters, the Shepherds of Rod, and most of those immolators. So not a bad trade, as long as he can keep this 4th base alive. But he may just collapse to this army here. Nagalord still has a higher food, and he is advancing onto this 3rd, which is pretty lowly defended, pretty weakly defended. Only 1 tower. Does use the entangle on his hold. But these immolators have siege damage, so they can take out structures rather quickly.
Our sacred grove is being desecrated.
He's going to be repairing with his artisans. And here comes the Elven army. Immolators are exposed in the back. Uses the Murder of Crows to take out the zombies and those hoodlings. Good fight so far from Deoloran. Reinforcements slowly rolling in. But only a couple of immolators, whereas there's more phalanx on the way. And just the zombies on their own, not very effective. Oh, uses the T-Rex. That will allow the zombies to get actually knocked forward into the archers, but mostly still engaging the phalanx. Very good fight. Soaking up a fair bit of damage does slow those zombies, do pretty good AoE. And now this fourth base has completed. So Deoloran has managed to hold onto his expansion. Just recently got the Ranger research. Gives extra damage, movement speed, and even armor to the archers. So he's looking very good now. That attack did fail. I think perhaps Naga didn't have enough shepherds mixed in. Oh, well, look at this. Wow, big rally of shepherds and immolators. But now all of a sudden there's no zombies. Okay, we do have some zombies mixed in. It's very important to have a balanced army. The shepherds are mostly relying on the corpse explosion onto the zombies as they die. You'll see them turn green if they are cast. Yeah, a couple of them have been infected, and there's the cloud to block the damage in that area. Rangers are sniping down these shepherds of rot. Still wasting their shots, firing into the cloud. Immolators will do damage because of the seed, but the shepherds and the zombies won't. Good micro from Deoloran, keeping his rangers moving. Oh, does get a couple of bad hits there from the immolators. Not a lot of zombies left for the meat shield, so the rangers still getting some valuable snipes.
Our warriors have engaged.
Fourth base starting to come online. Nagalord not having a fourth of his own. No sign of any air units for either of our players. I still think that a looter drop could be disastrous over here. Also, the fairy dragons to shred the mana of the shepherds is quite nice. Not fully saturating this fourth base.
Our warriors have engaged.
This death army is getting scary. Deoloran, however, slightly ahead in upgrades. Okay, Naga's going for the fourth base. It will fall pretty quickly with those immolators. Does pop the entangle for that regenerating health and the attack. Deoloran moving in to defend. The zombies have taken up a protective position. Immolators are turning to engage the army, so the base will survive for now. Big obliterate onto the phalanx. Zombies are getting taken low by the tower and the entangled thorns. Now the rangers moving into the high ground, getting a snipe on these immolators. Can they take the base down in time? It's getting very low, but only one immolator left. They all fall, but so does the expansion. Oh, and now these zombies getting some deadly hits on their rangers. Wow, and behind this we see a fourth base for Naga. Very big swing. Taking out the fourth base while getting his own. Often when you play this Hall of Warrior strategy against the crypts or the zombies and shepherds, mixing in some spiders can be good for their AoE.
Research finished.
Deoloran, however, just going completely Hall of Warriors units, so he has quite a large army. The thing about Deoloran is that he has very good micro. He's able to use his rangers very effectively to take out those key units, the shepherds and the immolators, where if you don't really want to do that, going spiders is an alternative, because then they just kind of burn through the zombie front line. Look, Naga using this for vision, seeing if his fourth base is going to get attacked. Maybe he should throw down some turrets. Yeah, he sees the fourth base. Sorry, the army moving into the fourth base. Or a little bit awkward. Now he can use the recall to teleport his units back, but they're actually split up, making that a little awkward. Dioran's gonna scout this 4th base. Yeah, he sees it. Can he kill it in time? The army is arriving from both the top and the bottom. Eclipse gives extra armor to the Dark Nexus, but he isn't using it. That is the zombie plague. These units that die will spawn a zombie on their corpse. Turn to engage with the cloud, and there's the murder of crows. Zombies are getting picked off for free, but the Immolator's now starting to do their siege damage. Dark Nexus is once again being focused by the Rangers. Cloud wears off. Dark Nexus does fall, but perhaps so will the whole army of Dioran. Oh, nowhere to run. Rangers getting picked off. Wow, that was quite a costly trade for Dioran. Again, behind this, he's getting his own 4th base. Nagalord ahead in food. Great stag on the way. 4th base immediately being rebuilt for Nagalord.
Yes, master.
Naga pushing out.
Your building is complete.
Big rally of Rangers. Doesn't have any phalanx though from meat shields. Oh, and those Immolators are quite good against those Enchantresses with their unarmored type. Army a little out of position though. No zombies in the front line for a meat shield. Spellbringing abilities are on cooldown. Needs to get those Enchantresses out of harm's way. Yep, there we go. Casting the Thorns. Oh, there's the Black Pyramid. Forcing Dioran's army to split up, doing so much damage. Rangers getting crushed. The split was a little bit awkward there from Dioran. Means he lost his whole army. Now even the Artisans are getting crushed. Oh, that was such a good timing from Dioran, from Nagalord, sorry. He popped it just as he was attacking up the high ground, and so it meant that the retreat path was limited. Dioran couldn't run out of the ramp because he would have got killed by the army. Now that Hold is getting sniped very fast with those Immolators. Very well played from Nagalord. Keeping that Black Pyramid until it absolutely was essential. Because you can outrun it if you're out in the open, especially with all the warriors. They have quite mobile units. Dioran does have this 4th base. So does Naga. I don't think you can hold this. You will have the defender's advantage. Oh, now he has the spiders for that AoE. That's going to help a lot. Reinforcements streaming in. This is where moving your necromancers forward can be quite useful. Calls forth the saplings, temporary combat units. The tree herds are good meat shields as well. Dioran may indeed hold, but he is 1 base behind. He will have access to his stag. He does have it now, but with no army for it to really buff. Not going to be too effective. Yeah, that's going to be GG. Yeah, Dioran he played very well. I think this one fight was really bad. That was perhaps what sealed his fate. He did get the base, but losing his whole army for it was not worth it in the end. So yeah, I think if he either went air units to try to put some pressure on the base, or he got earlier spiders, it could have been a different game. But Nagalord just trading too well in these fights, managing to eke forward that extra base in the end. Yeah, very well played. Nice game. Let's go ahead and cast game number 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next game. Alrighty, welcome to game number 2. Dioran, once again, playing as the Nature, whereas his opponent Naga, returning with the Death. There will be no faction swaps. I will be very surprised if we see Dioran smash out Order in the 3rd game. If there is a 3rd game, as it is a best of 3, Nagalord already taking that 1st game. And now we're on Fighting Spirit. So this is a 4-player map. Scouting of the base locations is important. It also has these ramps, which are a pretty famous feature of this map. Pathing through these ramps can be quite difficult, which can be a plus or a downside depending on if you're attacking, if you're defending, where you are. I don't think it particularly benefits either faction. Just depends on kind of how the game goes. You can use it to your advantage if you're attacking. For example, if you attack a third base and your enemy's stuck on the low ground, then you can kind of wait for them on the top of the ramp. But of course, often what happens is players just put a bunch of towers near the ramp. So another reason why air units and drops can be pretty good to really navigate around these ramps and these choke points. This base building looks a little awkward. I don't think he can build the necropolis here. That being said, he doesn't really need to. He can just build it over here. Since he is death, he doesn't harvest trees with workers, and so you don't have to build your necropolis or necropoli within proximity to the trees. You just have the blight factories doing that separately. Oh no, he did able to fit it there. He did manage to fit it, I should say. Okay, Looter moving out for a scout. Sapling for an expansion. Oh, actually, it's a double barracks this time. Double Hall of Warriors. It is, however, still an expansion, so it isn't particularly all in, but we'll be able to apply a lot of pressure. However, he's about to find a Vampire Lord. That's a very, very strong counter to the looters. This could be a very quick game. Against the Vampire Lord, you're going to want to have sprites. Which is why going one hall and one haven can be a bit more of a safe, aggressive playstyle rather than double hall. Because there are certain units that really shut down the looters. Still, the Vampire Lord could get caught out of position.
I'm on the job.
The speed is being researched now. He's got one vampire who's found a looter. Oh, the looter doesn't get away in time. The vampire does get a killing blow, get a couple of stacks. Another vampire is being built, but there are two looters already in the base. Does he try to go for the necromancer to snipe this one down? Just looking for a couple of kills on the lost souls. There is a haunt to keep that lost soul alive. The vampire, oh, not returning back to base. Once again, good haunt micro. One also, however, does go down. We do see the vampire finally spawning, but now there's another looter in the main base. Looter's still looking for some pretty good kills. Has to be careful with the vampire. Now having that speed bonus is able to keep up with his looters. The response is to go for archers and another hall of warriors. Oh wow, looters finding these lost souls, but it's a bit awkward with the gold mine. There has been some worker kills, but the vampires getting stacks means that they're going to be very tough. Very, very good haunt micro. Yeah, once again, Naga keeping these lost souls alive. Many, many wounded lost souls. Not quite as easy as it may look to toggle between lost souls. Oh, these archers are very bad versus the Vampire Lord.
Your building is complete.
Having some tree herds might help. Just building archers. Once he gets his Spellbringer, it's okay, because then he has the Entangle, but without the Spellbringer, the vampire is very tough. Also, we'll take out an archer in 2 hits once it has enough stacks. Yeah, these vampires are getting very fat very quickly. Oh, another kill on the looter. Almost fully stacked. Now, the saplings don't give any stacks because they're temporary units. It's gonna get caught between this other vampire. Another kill. That one's now fully stacked. Plus 10 damage. Waiting for the Spellbringer to finish. Maybe building a tower would help. Doesn't have any phalanx either. Okay, good microing away these workers, but no, micros them into the other vampire. That's 2 artisans down.
Your building is
There's the Spellbringer. Another artisan falls. So now he has the Entangle, or the Grasping Roots. But off to a bit of an awkward start is Deoldrin.
I stand ready.
Vampires in small numbers aren't very good because of the grasping roots. You really want to have multiple of them together. Like this, we'll see this one just get entangled. Doesn't even need to. Okay. Maybe Naga's going to throw away his early game lead by losing these vampires. They don't lose all their stacks when they die. I think they lose 1 stack. Ooh, Archer's moving out. That's a little risky.
I'm on the job.
Hasn't actually fully saturated this gold mine yet. So we see Naga does have a lot more gold income currently. Nice work with the entangle. Very good micro from Diolrin. Going to lose 1 Archer. Oh, another one with a death coil. But still, trading well are these archers. But it's a little more complicated when you factor in the stacks. Every time an arch dies, it gives 2 stacks to a vampire lord. And with this obelisk, there's no way that Dio can actually get some harassment. The way that I like to play against vampires is to just go pretty aggressively expanding with towers and kind of just out macro them. Sooner or later we're going to see the vampire lords attack, and with the eclipse it could be very deadly. He's just waiting until he has 4 vampires. And 4 vamps against this many archers will go very well for those vampires. Spellbringer's getting low, but once it's about to die, he's going to attack. Oh, he's actually blocked him in with the grasping roots. 1 vampire does get through. He can get focused. There's the Raven, the murder of crows. Okay, nice work. He actually may kill this Spellbringer. He's waiting for this production. There we go. He has to attack now with the Eclipse. He's going to lose his Spellbringer. Another good grasping roots. Yeah, with 4 vampires, it's going to be hard to trade this, but Dio's micro is excellent. Still no Eclipse. It does give a movement speed bonus and an attack speed bonus. Continuing to build archers. Diolrin has 4 barracks. He's going to get supply blocked though, but that Spellbringer is so low. Oh, uses the resurrection on an archer. It's a very tough unit, but it's only temporary and it's actually slower as well. Dio looking for his 3rd base, has an artisan. There's the Eclipse, very late Eclipse. I guess he's trying to distract with this one.
I stand ready. Your building
Still only building archers. Oh man, Nagalord may want to consider repairing this. I guess the problem with repairing is you have to pull necromancers, which mean that they can't produce units. A lot of vampires, a lot of them very heavily stacked as well. Building this 3rd base, the vampires, will they catch the hold or will they catch the army? Let's see. Let's look at his vision, because this could be quite interesting. Eclipse is on cooldown. Okay, he's found some archers. Oh, the army is caught. More stacks. Murder of Crows is probably available soon. Pulling the artisans. Dendrit Reherd can actually block this ramp. Did he put it on hold ground? No, he lets the vampires through. The vampires will get collapsed upon by these archers at the back, but not the end of the world, because they can just turn around and attack them. Okay, he uses the grasping roots. Gets one of them. There's the Murder of Crows. I think that was on the wrong position. The Ranger upgrade comes online just in time. Oh, and the Obliterate's going to be very deadly. It actually misses, though. Moving Ranger's pretty good at dodging that one. Phalanx soaking up excellent damage. Another Obliterate ready to go soon. Needs to make sure he dodges this. Okay, trading very well. Once again, Dio, his Ranger micro is so good. No second Obliterate, loses that Death Knight before it can fire another spell. He has started repairing this with the Lost Soul. That's very good to see, because that would have died very quickly otherwise. Naga's economy looking a little awkward. He's actually quite low on wood. That's why he's building more of these Blight factories, but he's going to struggle to spend his gold. 3rd base for Diolrin, so he's in a very good spot with this Ranger upgrade and that 3rd base.
I will.
Oh, once again uses the resurrection. So when these vampires are fully stacked, trading is all of a sudden kind of good again. As long as you trade well. Oh, attacking that. Not important to kill this. It does time out. Oh, interesting. And the Lich upgrade. Yeah, those 4 rangers that died. He doesn't need to attack this. I think that was just a bad movement. Like bad kind of pathing through the enemy units. Yeah, the Lich upgrade, it turns Necromancers into a Lich, which gives them extra, like attack, extra combat stats. Dio now, having lost a bunch of rangers, puts him in a bit of a precarious position. Does have some towers here, which is nice, will prevent counterattacks, but this third base is still quite exposed. The priority now for Dioran is to deny a third base for Naga. And for Naga, he really needs a third base. But Liches are painfully slow without that Necromancer training upgrade. So the way that Liches work is like Necromancers, they get bonus armor when they're on Blight. So they're very strong combat units on Blight. Off Blight, however, they can be picked off pretty quickly. So you should be building Blight as he advances throughout the map. As well as he really needs this the Necromancer training upgrade. Okay. Upgrades are looking pretty good for Dioran. 2 attack, 0 armor, only 1 attack for Naga. Building a Blight factory there. That will give him the creep in an excellent position. 1 tower, but it's a little bit late. Oh, Dioran moving up the ramp. Could have been bad if he was caught on the ramp, but now we're going to see Phalanx in the front line. That's the Murder of Crows. We'll take these vampires down pretty quickly with the focus fire of these archers. The Blight just now coming online to these Liches. Getting some kills on these artisans. Wow, very good fight. And these Liches cannot retreat without the Necromancer training upgrade. This is very, very sad to see. Crawling away. They're not cheap. They cost the same as Necromancers. And you have to build them from your Necropolis. Okay, building an expansion in the middle. There is creep here for defense. Now warping in some vampires. No vamps here. The archers trade pretty well on their own. The Liches are quite tough in defensive positions. It still has, oh, actually I think one of these is, this is bugged, right? I think the replay, oh no, that's not bugged. Sometimes the Warcraft 3's replays can be kind of buggy. So like on the minimap here, it shows that there's stuff, which there isn't. Well, this third base is quite important for Naga because it has 2 gold mines. They do time out quicker with much less gold, but still it will give him a massive surge to his income. Building some death obelisks will give that position much more defensibility. Going for sky totems. Interesting. I wonder what he's going to do with those. So the cool thing about Liches is that they're both combat units, and they also can produce units. So it's a very flexible strategy. I think having a mix of some vampires is pretty good. And they're vulnerable if their Blight gets destroyed. So maybe there will be Coatls to take out, well, a lot of Sky Totems. If he goes Coatl heavy, it means he can take out the Blight factories, and then the Liches don't have that bonus armor. Even just using Coatls to attack lumber income throughout your bases is very deadly. Throughout your opponent's bases. Dioran's army is a little larger, getting supply blocked at a pretty bad time. Dio expanding to the south, maybe to the east as well if he builds this in time.
Your building is complete.
He gets that, and will he expand? Wow, Dio's sapling placement on this game has been very good. He hasn't missed a single sapling.
Our gold mine is running low.
I've just seen him lose so many saplings, it's quite sad, but now he's on top of it. Splitting up his army, a little awkward. Still no Necromancer training on these Liches. A little bit exposed here without the Blight. Dio exposed with his army split up. We should have access to some deadly Spellbringer abilities. Cloud, Okay, here goes the engagement. Oh, Obliterate connects on several ranges. Zombie Plague only getting the phalanx, not the ranges. Very good fight there for Naga. Crows continuing to connect. No more vampires left, but a lot of liches. Moving off the blight, however. Even just a zombie as a meat shield there from the zombie plague makes those liches much tougher. Ah, getting caught on the retreat. Lich is now in a good position to attack this third base. There's some towers, but not many. Of course, you can just build immolators. Yeah, look at this. Building a lot of immolators. He's going for mass dragon. Nice.
Your building is
Huge rally of immolators. Yeah, that tower stood no chance. Trying to buy time for the dragons. So the liches do have an air attack, so these dragons won't be completely overpowered in this situation. They're very strong, but there's probably enough liches to attack them head on. Wow, this immolator is going to burst this base down very fast. But there are these corner bases online for Dio. Oh, not actually microing, not producing on that gold mine. Has the 4 dragons. Now, he hasn't revealed them just yet. Putting more dragons. So he might wait until he has a huge dragon army before revealing them.
I'm on the job.
Our gold mine has collapsed.
The dragons could also just kill these lost souls. There's no anti-air here. Naga is pushing onto the natural base. Interesting. Actually building an expansion here. I love it. Naga's army is significantly larger. No blight, however. He needs to be building blight. This is actually unbuildable terrain, but blight can be built anywhere, the blight factories, because they're considered air. They're not on the ground. Okay, here come the dragons. There's no blight. This is going to be an excellent fight for Dioran. The dragons do have splash damage. The T-Rex as well to knock these units back. Building a blight factory, but it's very late. And that's the murder of crows. Immolators will take extra damage from these dragons. That splash damage ripping through them. What a disastrous fight for Nagalord. Nowhere to retreat. Caught on the low ground of this ramp. Oh man, that would have been a much better fight if there was creep. As we see now, this lich is quite tough. And now Naga must be panicking, seeing this many dragons. Oh, the base not gonna get cancelled. He doesn't cancel it. Still, Naga has plenty of cash. Plenty of gold at least. His wood income is a little low. Against the dragons, I think he wants wraiths. They have the magic damage. And he already has the mana tech. Dioran continuing to build dragons. Now the good thing about these dragons, the reason why it's worked well for Dio is the ranges and the phalanx both cost very little lumber. Whereas the green dragons are very lumber heavy, and so Dio was just spamming out these cheap gold units, which gave him a huge bank of lumber. Wow, a lot of anti-air towers, but will they complete in time? They're only halfway done. Naga just has no army to defend this. The anti-air tower is just about to finish, but they've already been destroyed. Yeah, I think we saw one attack come out of that. That looks like GG to me. Yeah, GG. So Naga was caught unaware that that was a really good strategy transition. But the Liches aren't too bad against dragons. It was just that one fight without the Blight that really sealed the deal. But yeah, using the occasional Spellbringer ability to check your opponent's base to look for different tech paths can be pretty good. Because he could have tried getting a bunch of Wraiths for anti-air if he had time to prepare. But yeah, very well played game by Dio. I loved that. His Ranger micro is so good that even though they get pretty hard countered by vampires, he was able to keep the pressure, keep the map control, fight pretty evenly, and then all of a sudden have this huge dragon transition. So that was an amazing game, which puts us at 1-1. So we'll resolve this series in game number 3. See you there. Here we are in game number 3, our decider match on Dueling Peaks. A small 2-player map. Should be a quicker game, I suspect. There is definitely potential for cheese on this map. Not having to scout your opponent's base does make it quite easy. And these games have both been quite macro heavy, and so having some kind of a rush could really catch their opponent off guard. I'm really curious if we see cheese or not. I don't think Naga and Dio in general, though, are particularly cheesy players. Not that really anyone in our community is... Well, some people are super cheesy, but most people aren't particularly cheesy. But the tournaments bring it out. Especially in game number 3 in a 1-to-1 series. I'm very impressed that Dio... Oh, this looks pretty cheesy to me. I'm very impressed that Dio managed to recover that 2-Rax looter aggression into vampires. That can absolutely just be a death sentence. But he was able to, yeah, keep those vampires busy long enough to get enough archers to then be able to hold. So Naga, he... Oh, this looks a bit awkward. He's putting a 3rd Necromancer.
The damned stand ready.
And he doesn't have another Black Obelisk.
My fate is sealed.
He's gonna run out of... He's gonna get supply blocked.
I gladly
And I think the Looter's gonna scout this. Where's the Looter? Oh, he's not actually doing... A little bit late. So the Looter is going to see this. Naga with a 3rd Necromancer. Yeah, that's not very helpful. The Looter does see this kind of cheese. It's a bit awkward that Blight Factory could actually have been on the wood. Okay, but there's going to be a lot of zombies. Hall of Scholars, quick Spellbringer. Dio, does he build a tower? That might be the play here. At least continuing to build tree herds could be useful. Building another Hall of Warriors. I don't know if he's really reacting to this.
I'm on the job.
Yeah, only building archers one at a time. The Looter's trying to kill the Necromancer. Building a tower. Okay. So Naga has to kill this tower if he wants to kill him now. Otherwise, he may be happy to just get the natural and keep him contained. Oh, that Looter, will he find the Necro? No, but there's actually another Necro.
I will.
I think Dio is just unprepared for this. The tower is cancelled. Not building any more tree herds. The expansion does finish. So we'll at least give him some food. I think he needs a tower. It was a pretty ambitious spot for a tower. Getting a tower in the gold mine could have been good. Also, the sapling got a timeout without getting a tower of his own. Using the archers against zombies is pretty tough. Since he has the Hall of Scholars, he could go for Phalanx. Behind us, oh, it's actually a mana. That vampire could be very deadly. The zombies are actually getting cleaned up, in part due to the saplings and the tree herds, and of course good archer micro, as always by Deolrin. Forward Necromancer could build a Blight Tower. Sorry, a Black Obelisk to give healing. Okay, well played by Dio. He has held on to this. And now he has the Spellbringer, which gives him a huge bonus, especially against the Vampire. He can just use the Grasping Roots on it. Vampire gonna be moving in, looking for blood. Already some wounded archers, but does get the Grasping Roots. Grasping Vines, rather. Second Vampire moving in. Oh, blocking with a Tree Herd. Excellent positioning by Deoldrin. Gets one Artisan. And now he's upgrading these towers. It's deadly. Vampire once again getting slowed. No Spellbringer for Naga. Coughing Slumber, nice. Even the Necromancer turning to engage. They are on the Blight, so they're pretty effective. Getting a couple of stacks on the Vampires. Only upgrading one tower is quite curious, because it's going to be very tough to kill once it completes. Let's see if Dio goes for Spiders. No. Both Necromancers getting cleaned up. But the tower has finished. It's not amazing against this many archers, but it can take them out pretty quickly. 3 hits. The Necromancer is sniped. And the Tree Herd survives. What a wacky game. I think Dio has this because he has the expansion, but no, the expansion's within range of the tower. Using the hold, using the entangle to give that extra health and damage.
Our sacred grove is being desecrated.
Naga not upgrading this other Black Obelisk. That could be very decisive. Not having a Spellbringer or even an expansion, it left him very all in. I don't think he even has the Vampire Speed upgrade. Yeah, I think all these archers can just kill the tower. If it was 2 towers, it would have been much tougher to crack. The Spellbringer still has a fair bit of mana left, so you can keep using the Grasping Vines. Yeah, like that.
The night beckons.
So Naga has nothing left. He has no units. He's about to get his Spellbringer, but without any units and without an expansion, he's just gonna get crushed by all these archers. Yeah, and has the Haven there anyway. That was a really good defense by Deoldrin. I didn't think he could do it, but he just had really good archer micro. But perhaps I think the issue for Naga is that he left the zombies to just attack the Tree Herds and the Saplings rather than trying to actually kill the Looter and the Archer. Oh, still has a few Vampires here, okay. But no speed. They're too slow, the Archers can just kite them. That speed is such a key upgrade for the Vampires and he just doesn't have it. That has to be GG now. Yeah, there's the speed.
Research complete.
Maybe we'll see at least Sprites come out. Sprites are very good for their magic damage, good against the Vampires. Well, that was an exciting game 3. I'm kind of glad we got to see some cheese. It did seem like a little bit of a awkward cheese though. I think Naga doesn't have much experience with it, and so he didn't really know what to do. The thing is with Death is because their units just build so quickly, you don't really need that many Necromancers. You definitely don't need 3 Necromancers, and you probably don't even need a second one. I think having that extra lumber to build a Spellbringer very quickly is quite good. Because you can build zombies very quickly. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not also particularly an expert when it comes to cheesing, so I don't really know the best kind of build for this. But it was a nice try. It almost worked. It was very close. And Dio was unprepared for it. He did have a pretty, I wouldn't say greedy build, but it wasn't a very safe build. It's because I think he didn't react when he saw that, like his early build was okay, but then when he saw this forward necromancer, he didn't react. Like he didn't build a tower, he didn't build a second hall of warriors very quickly. So for a while there, it was looking a bit dicey, but he was able to hold it. So well played. Dio takes the best of 3. Nice to see, yeah. Good seeing some death games too. Alright, well that wraps us up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the cast. If you haven't played Spellbringers before, please check it out. You can join the Discord in the link below in the description. You can check out the game, play it on your own, or play it with us and other people. Or you can just watch us stream. We usually stream in the Discord channel pretty often, so hopefully we'll see you there. See ya. My name's GG the Machine, and thank you for watching.